Hello and thank you for joining me. My name is Jerry Sarmiento. I'm the full-time trader, and today it is Wednesday, February 27, 2019. Tomorrow is the last day of the month and we move into March. I can't believe how time flies. But anyway, that's the way it goes. Today I want to focus on one thing, which is how to control your mind, at least how I control my mind and my emotions, I should say, because there's no way you can live without emotions. I mean, if you want to eliminate your emotions, there is only one way to do it, and it's to die. And we don't want to do that. So your emotions will be there for sure. Now you need to know how to control them. It is a semi-long process to learn this. I'm learning it from someone who I've hired, and he's a well-known trading psychologist. And there are 4 or 5 that I know of that are very good, and they all charge a good amount of money. And yes, I'm spending money, but hey, you have to pay it one way or the other. Either you blow an account, 2 accounts, 3 accounts. I don't know how many accounts you blow. I did blow up one big account many years ago because I didn't do any of the right things, and now I'm doing the right things. One is to train my mind, and one of the fundamental things is controlling emotions, and going to the very, very basic level, because there are a lot of other levels later in my coaching with my coach, is the very, very fundamental is to control that moment when you are in the border of panic or fear. You know, we all have been through FOMO, and we all have done, over trading and revenge trading and all of that ugliest stuff. But there's one fundamental thing which is related to breathing. Once you start focusing on your breathing, and your breathing during moments of tension, during moments in which your coherence is out the window, you start practicing breathing in a certain way, and you start calming down. One of the things that I showed in my welcome episode was this little device here, which is on now. I have to turn it off because I'm not using it, but this is a Bluetooth transmitter, and this is the sensor that clips to my ear lobe, and it transmits my heart signals to an app that I keep on my iPhone, and then I project on my screen. And in today's exercise, what I'm doing is I'm basically trading and monitoring how am I feeling, where I am in terms of coherence. And I have learned to calm myself down, not only from the minute by minute, but also hour to hour, day to day. I mean, before I used to get desperate. It's like, I need to trade right now. The market is moving. My God, the SPY is going up. I need to find something. And I found something and I start trading. And that's a disaster, So if nothing shows up in the market that doesn't follow your rules, and I keep my rules here next to me. One day I'm gonna have another episode about that, but I keep my rules right next to me. If there's nothing that shows up that adheres to your rules, then there is nothing for you to trade. And that's something that you need to control also, because it is a hard thing. You just sit on your hands. I don't really sit on my hands. I mean, because I only trade an hour and a half, at 2 hours maximum in the morning, because the rest of the day I have other things to do. Today, for example, I was very, very busy watching and analyzing and watching it over again. A webinar. It wasn't a webinar. It was more of a report from Fidelity. Fidelity is where I keep my 401k investments, and they do a quarterly review of the state of everything, including currencies and commodities, and where the markets are going, banks, central banks, policy changes, and all of that things, which helps you with your investments or your mid-term to long-term trading. So I was doing that. I spent some time with my Forex account, looking at things and planning for later on. So those are the things that keep me busy. Later on tonight, I'm going to be looking at my swing trade positions, and that's what I do in the evening. Look at them and plan for my following day if there is anything I want to place orders today to be executed maybe tomorrow if they hit my limit orders or my stop orders, whatever. So anyway, but day trading today, I did only one trade and I made a minuscule 2-cent profit. But let me tell you what, it was a great day because making a 2-cent profit is way better than losing any money. And I think my job in this household is to protect capital. I want to protect the capital. That's number one. And then the second one is, of course, to make money. But if you lose your account, if you blow your account, how are you going to make money? It's a difficult thing to do. So capital protection is the number one thing. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. I just wanted to do an introduction to my episode of today, which is only one trade. And you're going to see that what I'm trying to demonstrate is coherence, how I try to keep under control my coherence using this little device and the art of breathing correctly. Okay, so that's it. Why don't you please follow me and see what happened today, Wednesday.
Good morning. Today is a beautiful Wednesday, February 27. What you're seeing on my screen is my heart monitor. You see the green here means I'm in good shape. If it goes red, that means I'm actually moving into the stressed area. That's an area where I want to be. I don't know what these things down here were, but it's turning blue maybe because I'm talking now. As soon as I start practicing my breathing, I should go back to normal. That the state I want to be in during my trading is obviously in the green, in which I can clearly think and make decisions. So here we go. I'm back. That's my heart. I want to see a sinusoidal form rather than random peaks and valleys. So that's my heart monitor. It is 6 minutes before the market open in New York. The market itself is looking interesting. It's been trading. That's my line of resistance I had the other day, which I said, if it moves up across that resistance level, things are gonna get really exciting. It did, but there was another line of resistance and it bounced back down. And today is opening. It looks like it's opening underneath that resistance, which became support later. But now it looks like it's gonna be resistance again. So we'll see how it opens. The Qs are also trading low. The Dow is also trading low. So we expect a lower open in the market. Here are my what I'm looking at as far as my watch list. So we have 3, 4, 7 things I'm watching. I have everything from earnings, positive earnings, negative earnings. I have a crappy company, which is an interesting watch. This is hard to borrow, so I don't know what we're gonna do here other than watch it. I'm not willing to pay for a locate for what. It's a small cap, crappy company. They had $56,000 in revenue for the quarter. $56,000 of revenue with $12 million loss. So, the stock is overvalued, probably at around $8. Is trading in the pre-market at $6.85. I don't know if the thing is going to break down completely after the news or what's going to happen, but this is a hard to borrow, so I'm probably just going to watch it for entertainment purposes. But I'll come back after the market opens. I promise you I'm not going to trade before the first 15 minutes are over, or my first 5-minute candles are fully formed. Anyway, I'm calm and relaxed before the market opens, and I'm in the green zone, so that's good. By the way, I don't know if you saw my welcome episode, or one of my earlier episodes, I show the device I clip on my ear and monitors my heart rate and transmits to my iPhone app, and I'm projecting it here on my screen so I can see how am I doing as far as emotion control during the trading hours. Anyway, I'll come back later after the market opens. Okay, the market just opened. It's 9:30, almost 9:31 a.m. on Wednesday, and as expected, the market opened gap down. It missed my entire support level here, so it opened gap down underneath that support. So that's bearish sign actually, that this thing may continue going down, or it may pull up here, test resistance, and then continue sideways maybe. I don't see, well, anything can happen, it could just cross above that resistance level and continue moving up, but we will see. It's a tricky day. Let's see where we are for what does it look like on the daily. Yeah, look at that. That's the SPY on the daily. So what we want to do is go in that direction. Of course, we have again this resistance, that resistance, that resistance. So we have a challenging few days here to continue if we were going to continue moving up. So right now I'm not looking at any longs for the day. Let me check my state of coherence, which means my breathing is good, my concentration should be good, so I'm in a high level of coherence. Let me see, this is my watch list. This is another screen that I keep on my other monitor. These are my 7 guys that I'm monitoring: OCN, FTR, CHK, ODP, KPTI, DF, and Watt. Watt was the crappy company I was telling you about, and made very little sales with a big loss. So it did open as expected, gap down underneath all support levels. Look at that. So it's another piece of this is actually, this is my other program. I probably have the right support levels in my main screen. So let me go look at that. That was Watt. Here's on the daily. Yeah, here's the support. It opened right above that support, but is crossing underneath. Of course, this is my first 5 minutes, so there's nothing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit on my hands for the next 12 minutes, 11 minutes, and I'll be back to see if there's anything interesting. Okay, it's almost 9:45, which means my first 3 candles would be complete. The one guy I'm looking at is FTR. It has been moving up pretty strongly. It has 4 million shares traded so far. It opened right below that level of resistance, but it crossed over pretty strongly, so it's looking really good. Let me see what I see. I see some resistance at 332, at 338, so right around there. I don't see any big blocks. Well, I see one big block at 315, support level. I'm not gonna enter now because that would be chasing it, so I'm gonna wait for some kind of pullback. Look at that range, that's huge on the day. I'm sorry, on the 30 minutes. On the day too, that's a pretty big range. What is that? Let's see, it's 337 to 282, 337 to 282, that's 55 cent. Its ATR is 24 cents, so it's more than double. Look at that, it's developing a topping tail right now. Let's see what happens. It is trading above the opening price and above VWAP right now. The spread is tight, 21, 22. Yeah, the spread is okay. The volume is okay. It's about 5 million. It is traveling at 7 cent per minute speed. It is just pulling back right now. Let me see if I want to enter here. I get ready with how are my senses doing while I'm doing this. FTR. I'm gonna, let's see if I do a stop limit at, let me get back here. Pretty high. The high would be 335. The high 337. Let me do a an entry at 337. Stop 337. 37. Let me. It's a cheaper stock, so let me give it a little bit of size. There goes my order. I would be entering at 330. Let me draw my line here. 337 would be my entry if it crosses that way. That's my baby blue color to signify an entry, and my stop would be around there, 316. So let me do a 316 stop. $3.16 stop would be that would be my stop. So let's see if this baby moves up, breaks above. It's trading pretty strongly. There is a resistance at 335. So there is, I can see that 335 is right there. So if it breaks that resistance, I'm in at 337. If it breaks that wall, it's gonna move up pretty fast. Although there is another wall at 340. So there's quite a bit of resistance up there. You know what? I may pull my order because there's there's that support. That support right there is becoming resistant. Let me pull my order for now. So I just cancel my order. Let's wait and see, because there's a lot of resistance up there. You know what? I missed that line because I drew these lines here because I didn't see that this thing was going to open that hard, that strong. So let me get rid of my entry line. Let me put another line right there, which that would be that's a pretty strong area of resistance, which is right there at 349, but actually it's maybe even be a little lower than that. Right, it can't be that precise. It's the whole area that matters, but I can see it here. I can see 335 is a big chunk, which is right. It just broke 335. 352 is the next one. Gee, look at that. Look at that guy. But there's that resistance up there. 349, 348, 357. There's a big one. This is gonna be a tricky one to enter, just because there's a lot of resistance up there. Look at that one too, that one too. So it's too bad that I missed this one, but I don't trade the first 15 minutes, so there's no reason to cry now. So let me move on and see what else is moving. OCN seems to be breaking above opening price. Let's see, it's moving at 2 cents per minute. It's moving slowly. It opened above the 20 and the 50, underneath the 200. It has a space to move up. However, this thing, I could, you know what, I could do something here. OCN, let me do, the high is 222, but it's too close to hovering around. The range, its ATR is 22 cents, but the range today is about close to 15 cents, so it has space. Let me see, I can, if I put my high as my entry at 223, let me try that. 223, stop limit buy, 223. Okay, I'll come back. Let me look at more things. I'll come back so I don't bore you with watching an empty screen. Okay, I just got into FTR. It pulled back on the 1 minute down to here. I saw that line of support, resistance turn into support, and so I placed a stop limit order at the high of that, which was 342. Let me see, I got filled at 342, and now it's moving up. Let's see how strong it goes. My stop is here, but I'm gonna move it up to let me right under, yeah, 3. I think I'm gonna move it up to here, which is that line of support I saw, which is around 335. Let's say 335. Oops, I'm on here. 335. That would be my stop loss. Let me place it now before I forget. Stop market 335. So what did I do? I hit enter twice. Every time I hit my enter twice, I'm afraid I did something wrong. Oh, look at my coherence. It's not that great. Well, now it's back. I was in the red when I was entering that order. Oop, it almost hit my, I'm still alive. Okay. It almost hit my stop. Jesus. Okay. It seems oscillating around that area, so I may exit pretty soon without waiting for hitting anything that I don't feel comfortable here. So let me delete my stop loss and let me get ready for exit at the bid, depending on how the thing moves. So I'm gonna keep my finger in the trigger. I'm break even right now. Let's see if this thing moves up a little bit. That line of resistance really seems to be strong. Look at that, 350. There's a big chunk at 350, so this thing may move up to close to 350, which is right there at the top of that. That's a big line of resistance at 350. Wow, look at that. It's 70,000 share order on the ask. So let me see. We saw it blowing through another line of resistance before. Look at that, it keeps growing. There's only two people selling at 350. Let's keep our fingers still sitting on top of my sell on the bid. Let's see how close we're getting. My bid is at 345, so I'm positive. Okay, I don't feel really comfortable with this thing, so I'm out. I have a tiny 2-cent win, but hey, it's not a loss, right? Anyway, I didn't feel comfortable here. That's a big resistance level up there, huge. And then there's another huge one, 118,000 shares at 356. So obviously there's a lot of resistance up there. Look at that baby, it moved right. I would have been stopped out now. So that was a good move. It's good to be paranoid. That looks like a V shape retracement. Let's see how far it pulls down. Well, I'll come back to see it in a few, not right now. Let me regain my coherence, which is in green, so I'm good. I can think clearly. That's all we're asking in this business, to think clearly. ODP, I have not seen ODP. ODP posted good fourth quarter results, and look at that. It is consolidating now. It's posting a wedge right there on the 5-minute, or a triangle, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm not very exact about these things. There you go. That's what it looks like in my eyes in the 5-minute. The 1 minute doesn't look like that sharp in the 1 minute, that triangle. Nevertheless, it is a triangle on the 5-minute. If anything, this is trading above the opening and above VWAP. On the 30 minutes. 30 minutes was that's a big range. That's a big freaking range. Look at that. Well, relatively speaking, 353 to 315, 353 to 315. It looked bigger on the picture. It's 38 cents, and its range and its ATR is 15 cents. So it's already traveled more than double. The opening was not a. Oh yeah, it was a gap down. The opening was a gap down, and then it reversed. ODP reported. Oh, this is OCN. The results of the fourth quarter were going to be broadcast at the open. So let me see if I have news on. I don't know why it's giving me data request failed on. Let me go to Finviz instead. I can't get news on my TradeStation news feed. I don't know why. Let me see on Finviz. What are any news? What happened? Owen Financial announces operating result for fourth quarter and full year. So they did at 6:30 a.m. Senior leadership appointments. It sounds like they are shuffling people around, and they reported a net loss of 2.3 million, net loss of 70 million for the full year.
Complete acquisition of another company, re-engineering, blah 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 blah. Successful bid on MSR acquisitions. It seems to be active in terms of acquiring and re-engineering and all this stuff. That sounds more like PR in the middle of a net loss for the quarter and a net loss for the year. So maybe that's why it opened gap down. It's been moving sideways within that range in the 30 minutes, and on the daily it's been on that range for 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10 2 weeks, about 2 weeks been moving in that range, and right now it broke above, but it's hesitating to see if it's going to continue up or not. So we'll be on we'll watch, see what develops here. FTR in the meantime, remember I was thinking of chasing it, but I did get in and I got out with little profit, tiny profit, but I'm not complaining about that. Look where he went down here, now he's recovering again. I may be able to, oops, that's that line. That's the resistance I saw earlier that became support, that became resistance again. So it's hovering around that area. It tested VWAP and bounced back from VWAP. I still don't like that, all of that. Look at that. We still have that big resistance at 350, at 348, at 356, 104,000 shares. So I'm not gonna touch it for now. I missed my chance here when it was early. You know, I could have entered right around there, but there is no such a thing as I could have. I mean, I'm not gonna cry about it. It was a 30-cent opportunity that I missed, but I missed it. So what? Let's move on to see if we have any good opportunities. Let's check the market in the meantime. The market. Look at that. It opened gap down, went up, kind of tested resistance. It bounced back down. It's testing now opening price. It's bouncing up. Same thing with the Dow. It's testing opening price. The Qs broke below opening price. So right now it seems to me like a sideways movement for the foreseeable next couple of hours, I would say. But I don't know, which means I may just sit on my hands or I may just close the day. I'm gonna wait for a few more minutes, see how the market does, whether there are opportunities. I'm good, so I'll come back later. Okay, the market took an ugly turn. It dropped big time just in the last 5 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes it dropped really badly. I'm trying to figure out what happened, and here's my CNBC News. It looks like there's a testimony started on the trade on China. Obviously the reaction is bad, so that's what is happening right now. So I don't think I'm going to do any longs at this moment. Whatever my candidates were, like OCN, that I was looking for a long, is not gonna happen. The one that was moving up really strongly, it started moving sideways, so things are halting. Let me see on my monitoring screen. Watt is obviously, there's nothing I can do there. I can't borrow. Dean Foods is moving sideways. KPTI is moving okay, but there's I don't look at moving averages on the 5 minute, but on the daily
That's where it is on the daily. I don't feel comfortable with this one either. It's hovering around VWAP on the 5 minute. So I don't think I'm given where the market is right now, although the market is turning around now, but I don't see anything good. Office Depot. What's Office Depot doing? Let me look at Office Depot. Oh, that was my triangle. Damn. I missed this one. Okay, no time to cry. No time to cry now. Okay, that's my 5 minutes. What is it looking like on the... there are a lot of big blocks. 18,000, 18,000, 14, 16, 30,000, 85 at 370. So there's a lot of resistance at 370, but it's still far away. I'm at, relatively speaking, far away. It's only 18 cents away. But there's a lot of resistance here at 360, 357. So there's a lot of resistance right around that area here. You see some support. There's some support at 350. So that's where it is now. Oh well. Don't see unless this thing breaks above 356, 357, 360. If it breaks above 360, I could put an order for the breakage above this whole area, but then I have a big wall at 370. I have a big wall at 370. So I will have 10 cents with probably big risk, because my stop would be around here, 343. So the only reason I'm hesitating is because the market. The market, it's doing this dance here, and it makes me uneasy about doing anything. I don't see a clear pattern either way, other than maybe down, which would be bad for my swing positions. On the other hand, I'm not thinking about those now, but it's always in the back of your mind, right? Let me see if there is yeah, that was the 349. Oops. 363 is that. Okay. This thing is moving down now. Okay. Okay, I'll come back in a few. I'm feeling like going to the gym right now instead of staying here and getting stressed. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, here comes this guy saying that one negotiation won't solve all China issues. Or one negotiation won't solve all China issues. What does that mean? That means that the market is going to be pretty nervous right at this minute when he says that, because it means that whatever President Trump and his administration is doing won't solve anything. So that's what the market is reacting like. It's ugly. Oh man, come on, Jesus. I can't believe that one guy's opinion can impact the market like that. But that's the way it is. And my only candidate right now for a trade that looks clean is Office Depot. However, This is what its sector looks like. It's a consumer cyclical, a specialty retail. Office Depot. Let me see, where is it? I can't even find it. ODP. ODP is here, 7%, 7% plus. So it's right around there. But this is what the sector and industry are looking like. From it traded pretty strongly at the beginning of the day, and that's what we see here. And then it reversed, but since they had a great fourth quarter, it showed the strength, and it didn't follow the its sector and its industry, and it continued sluggishly moving up. Right now, the sector has crossed underneath the opening price. So things may be okay for Office Depot, but I'm not feeling comfortable today. I think I'm gonna take my little tiny 2-cent profit and go to the gym. And when I come back, I may check again, I may not. So this may be it for today, Wednesday, February 27.